speaking, if you would please mute your audio so all can hear. Good morning and welcome to the second 1 Million Cups Norman event of 2021. Our organizing team is thrilled to kick off this new year with you all. How many of you are a first-time visitor to 1 Million Cups? And if you are, you can use the fantastic Zoom functions and raise your hand, let us know. If you are, here's a little background. Developed by the Kauffman Foundation.
They were having difficulty
1 Million Cups,
getting the sub to come back and complete the work.
a national event designed to educate, engage, and connect entrepreneurs.
From my standpoint as property owner, 6 months is
1 second here. Okay. There are over 150 1 Million Cup chapters all over the country. All meetings occur at 9 a.m. on Wednesday mornings over coffee right now, discussing entrepreneurship in their communities. Just as we are today, some clubs meet weekly and others like ours meet monthly, always the first Wednesday of the month for us here in Norman. We are so glad you are here. So to those on the call, good morning to you. My name is Josh Long. I'm one of the organizing committee members. Professionally, I work for the Chickasaw Nation Industries as an analyst. And for those on the call who are so young, and we're so glad to have you this morning, it's good to have a vibrant youth movement here. We love it. And just for your context and business, people like me, as your ideas and your startups and your ventures become developed and mature, you'll have to hire professional managers, project managers, accountants, and finance people. And that's where guys like me and a lot of those on the call come into place. So just for your context. If you're new to 1 Million Cups, make sure you download the app and check it out. Once you're set up, you can check in, you can provide us with feedback, and you can connect with the 1 Million Cups chapters nationwide. Download it, check in. It's very important. We do track these statistics. Our sponsors, a huge thank you to our sponsors, the Norman Economic Development Coalition, the Norman Arts Council, Day Creative, and the More Norman Technology Center. 1 Million Cups is a volunteer-led initiative in each community. It's not tied directly to any other organization. We have an awesome organizing team steering our Norman chapter. If you're on the organizing team, give us a wave on the Zoom call, and thank you. Any of these folks would be happy to chat with you about 1 Million Cups or anything else related to entrepreneurship in our community. If you are interested in joining the team, reach out to any of us. Now it's time to get to the good stuff. At each 1 Million Cup session, we will typically feature 2 local entrepreneurs. This morning we have 3. Each presentation will be approximately 6 minutes, and they will tell us about their story and their company, followed by a 20-minute Q&A. We're gonna shrink that a little bit, being that we have 3 presenters. Remember that 1 Million Cups is all about building a supportive ecosystem for entrepreneurs. So build them up, ask thoughtful questions, and maintain positivity. Okay. I am going to pass control over to the first presenter, Spalicious. This company sells spa kits for any occasion. They have different scents for different seasons. And they are so excited to be here this morning to present to us. So Team Spalicious, the floor is yours.
You can see everyone. Good morning. Good morning, everybody, and we are going to share what we have to say. Hi, I'm Buttercup.
Hi, I'm E.T.
We are Spalicious. So our business offers spa kits. It has everything you need for a spa at home.
We started this business whenever everyone was getting used to dealing with COVID and quarantine. Many people, including us, have had COVID. We are stressed because we are stuck at home. So we thought of a business that would help people relieve stress and make them feel peaceful and calm. I mean, who has the time to go shopping for everything you need for an at-home spa?
So we came up with Spalicious, an at-home spa kit. Our spa kits include frozen coconut, fizzy spinning bath bombs, and bath salts scented with scents related to the season, and nail polish. You can use these spa kits during quarantine. Some examples are mother-daughter spa night, or you can give them to your mom for her to have her own special time if she's tired, and it is a very good way to spend Valentine's. Or we have a men's spa kit as well as a baby spa kit.
And what she means by frozen coconut is we give you a little pack of scented coconut oil and you put it in the freezer overnight and you put it in your bath or you rub it over your body and it relaxes you. We started with these bath bombs that just sunk to the ground, but then we added stuff and chemicals and, well, not chemicals, to make them float and spin. The bath salts smell so good and the nail polish is just perfect.
We thought about a business like something related to food, but then we came up with Spalicious, an at-home spa experience with all the excellent food scents. And what we mean by food scents is vanilla and cinnamon and pumpkin and so, not corn dogs and hot dogs and all of those dogs.
We haven't had a lot of time to pursue our dreams. We were busy during the holidays filling orders, but now we need more marketing to get the word out about for more customers.
A big success for us was when our fantastic guide, Miss Matina, encouraged us to enter a competition. We applied for the OU Entrepreneurship Expo and were so excited that we won first place for our age group. Miss Matina also encouraged us to go higher than our dream and to enter into 1 million cups and even start the cool business thing at all.
And our other guide, which is what we call teachers, Miss Kristen, is also so good at encouraging, and we wanted to give a shout out to all the Evergreen Eagles for their support. Thank you so much for letting us share.
Now we would like to ask you, what feedback or questions do you have for us?
I have a question. So as you create your products, do you plan to continue to sell directly to customers, or would you like to see your products sold wholesale in stores?
Well, right now we're kind of just thinking like we're kind of taking it one step at a time so we don't mess up. So we might want to get there, but we want a little bit more experience first. I mean, that's what I think.
I'm happy to be a product tester for you.
I have two questions. One, I'd like to know, how do I order your product? And two, are you using any social media to try to sell your products?
So we have a website and a Facebook page, and you can order off of the Facebook page. And we also have like a website, and so you can order off those things to get your spa kits.
So I've got to know, how do you make a bath bomb glow and spin?
Well,
I'm very intrigued by that.
so we get these. Well, you have to have citric acid, and they're all like really kind of. I think one big part of it about the spinning is the citric acid, and then we, instead of using water to make it the right texture, you mix witch hazel and alcohol, and then you spray it, and I think it really lets it spin and really fizz everywhere.
Wow. And what was the website address?
Spalicious, and then the website, the Facebook page is at Spalicious.
So it's just spalicious.com.
I think so.
Okay.
Yes.
Hey guys, do you have any long-term goals? Like, where do you want to see this thing go?
Long-term goals is probably, selling it in stores.
And just like getting more customers, like so people can, stuff just goes on and on. So if somebody orders something, they can tell their relative, oh, this bucket was really good, and it just keep going on and on. Like that.
Great answer. And I'm sure as you guys have thought up this product, this idea, and produced a few of these things, you've had some some great stories like, hey, I messed this bath bomb up, or I did this one funny. Do you have any funny stories to share?
You didn't tell them about you getting stuff on you.
Okay, so we were making bath bombs, and then I spilt most of our like mix of the bath bomb stuff, and it got all over me. And so then her mom, Jessica Johnson, took a vacuum and vacuumed me off.
And then we got a lot of food coloring on our hands one time, and we went to our Bible study with colorful hands.
Yeah, it was really pink.
Hi Buttercup and ET. I was wondering, like, what's your favorite like flavor, or not flavor, but smell or spa kit? Like, what do you, if you were going to use it, which one would you use?
I would probably do bubble gum or apple crisp.
I like the baby friendly spa kit a lot just because I love babies and baby care and all that stuff. So I like we have a baby friendly spa kit with like the scent is like of baby soap. So I really like that scent, but I also like Christmas Tree Farm. And here is one of the spa kits. This is a baby friendly spa kit.
Guys, you did so well this morning. Thank you so much for coming on and presenting to us. Congratulations on your company and your products, and I look forward to seeing you guys in stores. Fantastic. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, transitioning here, keeping this thing going. In between presenters, there are some upcoming events and things you should be aware of. The entrepreneurship and tech community in Oklahoma has a monthly meetup. It's the second Monday of every month at 8 p.m. It's via Zoom, and that's sponsored by the Innovation Hub and Launchpad FT. Also, a friend of mine and a fellow board member on the Norman Next organization, Daniel Moses. He leads up the, I'm trying to think what his group is at OU, but it's the Oklahoma Catalyst programs. They're hiring a new position. If you're interested, I believe that job is posted at OU. If you have someone you know who needs a job that understands startups and funding and venture ideas and things, reach out to Daniel and apply for that position. And then a few resources here. You can check out launchokcmetro.com if you're trying to find ways and help. Whoa, 1 second. Our next presenter this morning is Wristworld. These are middle school students experienced in a tech startup. They launched their own company. They designed and created a line of augmented reality wristbands. It's a collaboration of LoveWorks Leadership and Trifecta Communications. And I do want to apologize to Spalicious. I meant to give them control of the meeting and I failed in doing so. So Wristworld team, as you need the next slide, just say next slide, please, and I'll take care of that so we have no more hiccups. So without further ado, the floor is yours, Team Wristworld.
All right. Hi, guys. I'm Emma Wilbarger.
Hi, I'm Arya Ramanidi.
Hi, I'm HJ.
Hi, I'm Braden.
And we just want to start off by saying we're so excited to be here. We're so grateful to be able to pitch to you guys, and it was such an honor to be part of the Entrepreneurship OU Expo. So without further ado, let's watch this cool video.
Maybe. Okay, moving on from the video.
Yeah. That's okay. So about 2 years ago in August, 10 middle school students were selected to be part of this just incredible team. The adults asked the question, what would it be like to let middle school students be part of a tech startup? They answered that question with us. So we all had to fill out our resumes and submit them. And like I said, 10 of us were selected to be part of this incredible team. Now, the ultimate goal of all of this was to create Wristworld. And it's exactly how it sounds. It's a whole world right on your wrist. Next slide, please. So within our company, we have 3 teams. Our first one is our 3D modeling team. Now this team really takes all of our characters and landscapes and implements them in the game in 3D, where you can interact with them. Our next team, which is our art and design team, next slide, please. They create all of our characters and visual elements in the game, like our mochis you can see in the left-hand corner of the screen. Now they also created our logo, which is for our last team. Next slide, please. And this is our marketing team. So our marketing team handles outreach like our social media, Facebook, Instagram, and they also do a lot of our public speaking events. So now, after you've heard all of our backstory, you're probably wondering, what is the actual product? So I'll let Arya tell you all about that.
Next slide, please. Wristworld uses the magic of augmented reality to bring virtual images into the real world using a camera. As you can see in this picture, this girl isn't standing next to anything in real life, but augmented reality makes it look like she is. This creates a mobile gaming experience like no other. Next slide, please. There are 4 different wristbands to play in. Each of them are like chapters of a book and are different levels to play the game. Next slide. On each of the 4 wristbands, there are 2 different modes to play in, game mode and wrist mode. In game mode, you can defeat enemies and solve puzzles to unlock different abilities, like dancing. And next slide. In wrist mode, you can see your character pop up in 3D right on your wrist. And when we made our game, we were able to get amazing feedback about it from the New York International Toy Fair. Next slide, please.
And we brought a prototype to the New York International Toy Fair. And I'll tell you, it was very tough to get in because they have a rule there. They don't allow people or minors who are under 18, on the Toy Fair floor. So it gave us a whole thing to go through. Hour after hour, email after email, many tears shed. We finally got onto the Toy Fair floor on a shift basis. Next slide. Then after we got great feedback from the Toy Fair, we decided to start a Kickstarter. Next slide. Where we raised $23,000 from the generous people of Oklahoma. Next slide. This is us at the Dead Center Film Festival. We were all around after the Kickstarter trying to get funding and trying to meet all these people to really spread our product out there. Next slide. This is us at TEDx where we spoke to people and we met the CEO of OnCue who has our product, retails it right now. Next slide. This is us meeting with the Lieutenant Governor of Oklahoma. Next slide. This is us launching our product. Our product launch was amazing. The great people of Oklahoma went out and watched us launch our product and it went amazing. Next slide.
So once we had this awesome product, right, and it's selling on store shelves, we were thinking last year we went to New York with a prototype. Let's come back with an actual product. And so we did. In New York, let me tell you, the New York International Toy Fair is amazing. There's so many cool people that we got to meet, pitch to, and talk to. Next slide. We even got to meet Nolan Bushnell, which is the creator of video games, which was so cool for our members of our team. We got to talk on Toy Museum TV, get interviews. We also got to meet some CEOs and presidents of companies. Next slide. They were coming left and right. We were meeting all these new people, and at the time, we didn't know how big they were up in the corporate ladder. And that's the amazing thing about the New York Toy Fair is you don't know somebody's role until you look down at that big sign around their neck. And one of these companies that we met was Krypton. Next slide. Krypton has an amazing character called Hatsune Miku, and you might not know her yet, but you will soon. She started off as a voice, but slowly became popular and became an actual hologram that sold out concerts all over Japan and is quickly moving to the US. Next slide. She was even going to open for Coachella this year, and she's going to have her own tour around USA and Canada. That's crazy. Next slide. And so what we were thinking is that she's a hologram, AR, augmented reality, looks sort of like a hologram. Let's mash those together. So we thought there was no better idea than giving Hatsune Miku her own band. And this band, she's able to run around, dance, sing right on your wrist, which is so cool. Next slide. As you can see here, this is our new packaging, which has all 5 of our wristbands, which means the Hatsune Miku wristband can connect with all other 4 wristbands of Wristworld, which means you can play with Hatsune Miku all over Wristworld, which is truly cool to see. Next slide. And you might be wondering, and I know you're wondering, where can I buy this? We're on sale on Q's across Oklahoma, Amazon, eBay, and even Walmart.com. Next slide. So I just want to give a big thank you to everybody that came here to listen to us. And even if you supported us in the past, thank you from the bottom of our heart. We want to ask, do you have any questions?
All righty, now we'll pause for the Q&A session. So the floor is open. If you have a question, just ask it.
What gave you the idea?
I can take this one, or Braden?
We can kind of like bounce off each other probably.
Yeah.
Well, it started about two almost a half years ago, where we kind of had this idea like wristbands and augmented reality, and we're like, hey, those are kind of really cool. And it started off as just like a regular wristband, but we realized like slap bands are so much cooler, and so put that together, and it was really just it kind of just came all together like it was just a perfect steps, just bum bum bum. Emma, you want to add anything to that?
Yeah, I'll just add that it was 2 years ago, and they just posed that idea. And at first, I didn't really know what augmented reality was, and so it was kind of fun to just go through that experience and submit my resume, and then be with just this incredible team of people to brainstorm. And finally, we just came up with Wristworld.
Yeah, we definitely have a lot of creatives in our group that just think outlandish ideas, because I'm pretty sure, like, you know, it was kind of funny. We thought it was the most ridiculous idea, is that part of Wristworld was just our brainstorming. And one of the ideas was like a Candyland Wristworld. And that crazy idea led to what Wristworld is kind of right now. And even though it has almost no correlation, our brainstorming process has brought us to that, it was really cool to see how like powerful our creative team and just how creative we can be.
So I have a question for the team. What one resource, if you had it, would make all the difference in the success of your business?
Oh,
That one's a hard one.
Well, I think I know.
AJ?
Obviously the best resource, money, but well, we need a lot of coders, and I think we need a lot of coders on the team, since it's hard to source your whole product and funnel it to one coder. I just think we need to make our product, just keep building it up and keep changing it, and maybe it will catch on sometime. Yeah, but the best resource is money, of course.
And I do agree with HA, but I feel like the best resources is connections. You know, I feel like every step that Wristworld has taken to get this far has been through connections and networking with people. And so as many as like dots we connect with people is the resource we need, because that's, you know, having people we know, and because we're always a couple steps away from meeting somebody that could help us. And so those connections are truly powerful and probably our most powerful resource.
And so that leads me to this thought. Have you guys connected with the OU Innovation Hub, or what partnerships have you connected with, or what partnerships would you like? The OU Innovation Hub, and I'm sorry, I stacked those questions. The OU Innovation Hub has a lot of coders down there. They have a virtual lab, a lot of, they have the lab where you can go make things down there. So that might be a really good partnership. But I'm curious, I don't know if you guys have already established certain partnerships, or maybe if there's a partnership in particular that would be real critical to helping you in the next steps of your business.
Well, I think our team got to go down to the Innovation Hub once before, and we got to see all the cool technology that they have there. We haven't really created any partnership with them, but they're definitely a cool place that we could think about doing that.
Hi, I'm Annie. This is Maddie. We were wondering, how much do the wristbands, like the new pack, cost, if you guys know, or just the single new one?
Yeah, so the box set, which comes with all 5 wristbands, which includes the new Miku band, is $40 retail and $20 wholesale. And then the single Miku band, which is our new one, is $12 retail and wholesale is $6.
Thank you.
I love that.
You know,
last
guys,
question.
it might be interesting to share. You established a relationship with a Japanese company. Maybe if you could share what it's like working with a firm in Japan. It's a little different than what we typically think. Maybe someone could share just the ins and outs of that.
I think the best word for it is a little bit different. Just because the time zones are so off, and sometimes it takes a while because they're really particular about how they want their character represented. And so if there is like one thing they want changed, just that one thing, but it might take days for us to get that feedback, which, when we're trying to get things out fast, it could be a little bit of a difficulty. But I feel like even going through those difficulties, it's well worth the challenge. And it sometimes it takes a little longer than expected, just with the time zones and how particular they are with how they want their character represented, but it's definitely worth it.
You guys have experienced, some really cool things in your short time, as an organization, right? You had the trade show in New York. You've done some Kickstarter, some financing, so, some funding. That's great wisdom to have. As far as the outlook goes for you, right? In 5 years, where do you want to be?
I think for me personally, I look to take Wristworld worldwide, and right now we're trying to kind of break out of Oklahoma with Miku. She's kind of our ticket out of Oklahoma and into other parts of the world, but I definitely say maybe be a known name just around the United States or something like that. That would just be incredible.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. Just getting known. And so we're really, right now we're really focused in Oklahoma and all that breaking out, even if it's just in the US, but just going and breaking out of that would just be amazing to see Wristworld around the actual world.
Hey, Josh, if you don't mind me adding to your question, I think your question was specific to Wristworld, which Emma Brady, you did a great job answering. I'm curious, guys and girls, if a couple of you wouldn't mind answering the question, as a result of this experience, how has it influenced you in where you personally see yourself in the next 5 years?
Go ahead, HJ.
Probably, Wristworld has taught me a lot of things, like 3D modeling. So I'd like to do something with 3D modeling. Maybe I can be like an intern or something, or I could have my own game company in 5 years. Who knows? I mean, I'm just dreaming here.
HJ, you were talking about needing coders. Maybe Wristworld could hire you in a couple years.
Coder? Oh, that's 5 years to learn coding. I gotta get on it.
Well, if anyone can do it, it's HJ. He
Yeah.
will find a way.
Hi, my name's Cami, and I have a question about how you made the world and how you coded it, and like app did you use?
HJ, you're
What-
HJ and Aria, you can take that one.
Okay, so at first, when we started making the game, we had to learn how to use 3D modeling softwares, which is kind of like drawing, but on a computer and with like 3D objects. So at first we started from nothing and we just learned from the ground up, and we kept getting better and better over time, and then yeah, that's how we made it. And the software we use now is called Blender, and the software we use to code it and animate the game is called Unity.
Thank you for that, and also I was hoping about using those two things as well sometime.
That's awesome.
fine.
Go for it. It's definitely an awesome tool. I wish I was as good as Aria and HJ, so I would go for it.
I mean, the best thing is that it's entirely free to use, unlike some other programs that are like owned by Adobe. These are open source and free to use, which is great.
Well, I got to say this, guys. I appreciate your time this morning. You know, great job presenting, and I got to say you're super resourceful, right? You found open source sites, and just a good way to be good stewards of what's available versus what you gotta pay for. So to Risk World team, if those on the call would give them a quick Zoom, clap or a high five, would appreciate it. You guys did great. Thank you so much. Transitioning right along into our last presentation of the morning. This one comes to us from Real Kitchen Salsa. They're another one of our LoveWorks leadership organization teams. Alrighty, guys, Real Kitchen Salsa, the floor is yours. And as before, if you would just indicate next slide, we'll take care of that. Thank you.
Okay, so hey everyone, we are Real Kitchen Salsa.
Real Kitchen Salsa.
I'm Bella, I'm 14. If you could do next slide, yeah.
Yeah.
And the next one. So I'm Bella, I'm 14 and I do sales and marketing.
I'm Corey, I'm also 14 and I do finances.
I'm Nora, I'm 11 and I do sales and marketing.
I'm Saiba, I'm 10 and I do sales and marketing.
And in case you didn't know, we were actually voted the #1 salsa in Oklahoma. By us.
By us. Can I get the next slide real quick? Thanks. So Norman, or you guys at least, you might be asking our business right now, what problems are we currently solving at the moment? Well, to answer that question, if you guys can remember the last time you were in the grocery store, specifically more in the chip aisle, you guys can realize that a lot of those chips are really bland. You didn't hear that from me though. But right now our salsa is what we're doing is we're saving those bland chips everywhere. Though actually, on a more serious note, a lot of adults tend to think that student-led businesses are never successful, that they eventually have like their downfall or go bankrupt. But I mean, look at us right now. We're presenting at 1 million cups, which I think that's a big win, and that's us proving them wrong. Although Bella, I don't think they know a lot about the story of Real Kitchen. Can you tell them about it?
Wait.
Yeah, so Real Kitchen is a business started by middle school and high school students out of LoveWorks Leadership, which, in case you didn't know, is an after-school leadership program that teaches about leadership, entrepreneurship, and how to believe in yourself. The recipe was brought to the students of the culinary concept by Chef Phil Peterson, and the students took it and ran with it, and now we're in multiple stores across the metro area. We recently won second place in the OU Expo, and that was a big thing for us because it was like kind of a first kind thing. It was our second year, but most of us, it was our first time doing it. And we, as COVID hit, we got the thumbs up to rebrand, and we decided, next slide please. We decided to go from like two just very salsa-y colors, and then next slide, to very bright colors. And we decided to do that because we wanted everyone to be able to see it on the shelves and know that that was our salsa. We also are about to come out with our new shelf-stable salsa, and that's something we're very excited for and hope that will bring our sales up. Corey, you know a little bit more about how our business is doing though.
You know what, Bella, that's a great question and a great thought. Although to kind of answer that idea or kind of how we're doing at the moment, I have to give you guys kind of a throwback back to when we sold our first jar of salsa. Fun fact, we actually sold our first jar of salsa on April the 1st. But during that time, we were making our salsa by hand actually, and we noticed that we're selling out a lot more frequently. And if you can put those two together, they don't really combine well in means of time. So we decided, hey, this is taking up a lot of our time and we need to solve this issue. So we all decided, hey, if we get a co-packer, this will solve a lot of our issues. Although if we can flash forward back to today, that's one of the biggest challenges that we're facing at the moment, sadly. We have an interested customer in our product, which is really exciting for us, but kind of an issue for us at the moment. Our current co-packer, their manufacturing capacity doesn't really suit the needs that we need at the moment. Although that's given us the amazing opportunity to hopefully meet with the new co-packer. And they have a lot of manufacturing space for us to work with. All we have to do is get that thumbs up from our co-packer and boom, they get to start making that co-packer from our potential customer. And then boom, our co-packer gets to start making our salsa. Also, I heard you guys talking about Day Creative earlier and how they sponsored this event. They're actually about to work with our company, and our main focus with Day Creative at the moment is social media. And that's going to be one of our ways to hopefully get our word out to everybody. Although, but you know a lot more about the challenges that we're currently facing. I'm going to hand over the baton to you, and could you answer that question for us?
Yes, Corey. Right now, the challenges we are facing is we're not able to do demos at the moment due to the effects of COVID-19. And that is hard for us because people like to try our salsa. And now they won't be able to try our salsa because COVID-19 restrictions. But Nora knows this question a lot. How can the Norman community help us out, Nora?
That's a great question, Ms. Haiba. The Norman community can help us out by, next slide, please. By buying our salsa at Homeland and Crest and telling your friends and family about our product or giving our name out to stores that we could possibly sell it. Next slide, please. And you can follow our journey on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. If you're wondering how Real Kitchen has been impacting students, for example, me, 11-year-old Bella walked into Loveworks campus on her the first day, not knowing what sales was besides the people doing sales is the people I bought from. I've always had the skills, and my skills of talking way too loud, talking too much, and going up to random strangers to do it. And whenever I was recruited into Real Kitchen from being the top seller for our raffle ticket fundraiser, I learned that I could utilize those skills. I've learned so many things here that I can carry on for the rest of my life.
Now let me tell you a little bit about my story. So I started as a 9-year-old girl, just signed up for Loveworks from California. And when I first walked in the doors, I'm like, I'm really nervous and I can't do this. And Miss Carolyn introduced me to everyone. I'm like, hi. And in California, because COVID and all, and even without COVID, you don't see a program just like Loveworks. Like you don't see a program where you can be in Real Kitchen and sell buy as a kid. And that's a really good experience for me. So let me tell you a little bit about my story. So as a 9-year-old girl, I moved to California. I moved from Oklahoma. I moved from California to Oklahoma, and I joined Loveworks. And we did this game, this marketing game, and Miss Carolyn, she put items in the bucket. We just took a bucket, and basically we were showing everyone, and we were trying to sell it. And Miss Carolyn said I did a really good job and I should join Real Kitchen. And she introduced me to all the Real Kitchen team. And I said, yeah, I can do this. This is my thing. So I joined Real Kitchen and here I am on this call today.
We are, next slide, please. Yeah, we are very grateful for your time and we hope you help us save bland chips everywhere. Any questions?
I have a question. First of all, let me say the salsa business is exceptionally competitive. And so I want to congratulate you young ladies on finding the success that you have. My question is, how much have you done in sales so far?
Actually, that's a great question.
Yeah.
So sales so far this is one of our big achievements. We're actually in 11 stores now, which doesn't seem like a lot, but actually it really is. So that's one of our biggest accomplishments at the moment. Also, I remember Bella has recently mentioned our shelf-stable salsa. That's also one of the big things that we hope to get out on stores recently, or not recently, very soon. So that's how our sales have kind of been so far.
Corey, do you mind just sharing just some numbers for, and you were talking about some of the challenges. So maybe do you just want to maybe just give everyone like total sales for 2019, total sales for last year?
Oh yeah, so if you go back into 2019 and we realized like this is before COVID hit. During that time, we're about making maybe $24,000 a year. But I mean, if you compare it to our time now, we're only making about 21,000, maybe 20,000. So we've had that $3,000 or $4,000 drop sadly, and that has affected our business a lot.
Congratulations, young ladies. I'm going to start sharing your salsa and your stuff on social media, and I'll be having some of your salsa today for lunch.
Whoop, whoop.
Guys, I've got a question about your procurement practices, right? So where do you source your raw goods from? Your ingredients.
I think that's a Michael question.
So great question. So Josh, our co-packer sources them locally here, all the ingredients local in Oklahoma.
I have a question. Have you guys considered partnering with some of the businesses or organizations that highlight made in Oklahoma products to help with your branding, getting the word out that you guys have created this product and or increasing sales?
Yes, we have actually definitely taken that into consideration. Right now, though, we're like trying to figure out more stores that we can get into because we are local and our salsa is actually our fresh and has no preservatives in it. And with the shelf stable, it will also help us out a lot. A lot of those like Norman stores, like let's say here, Trader Joe's, like Whole Foods, all those local markets, we just have to get start getting the word out to them that we have a great product for them to sell.
Just to add on to that, we're not in a Real Kitchen is not an official made in Oklahoma yet, but we have been a part of different, and this is of course pre-COVID, but we've been a part of different food shows with Made in Oklahoma. So that's definitely something that the team has talked about. We would need to see though, in it to be an official like MIO, have that infamous label on our on their label, would need to increase our sales quite significantly to be able to get to that point, to be considered like an official partner with MIO.
Do you have different kinds of salsa or do you just have one right now?
Okay,
Yeah,
I think I can answer that one. Yeah. Okay. So as of right now, we in stores, we have our hot, our fresh hot, and then we have our fresh mild. And then we've been working on our medium, which will be shelf stable, which that will help us because it can get it further and it can last longer. And then we have our medium, our hot, and then we have like we don't really have a name for it yet, but it's just not medium, but it's there's no spice in it at all. And we're still working on a name for that. So yes, that'll be a total of 5.
Thank you.
Hi, I was just wondering, like, what is keeping you going through COVID? What is inspiring you to keep working with food? Like, and yeah.
I think I can answer that one. Honestly, it has to be my team. All my team is like, the entire team is full of great people who are always so supportive. And whenever you're feeling down, like they're always right there. It's like, hey, you can keep going. You guys can keep being inspired. And I know like times are hard right now, but we're all here together as a team and we can all help each other out.
Are there any plans for expanding outside of the salsa line, for example, like an artichoke dip or any other kind of dips or anything?
That has been ever since I joined the team. I was like, why don't we like try like guacamole? That goes perfect hand in hand, queso. But as of right now, we are working on just our shelf stable, and that is like kind of like a long-term goal to get other stuff out there. Yeah.
I think in the next 2 years, we're going to have to see a guacamole on the shelves, aren't we, Bella?
Yes.
And as the questions are kind of winding down, I want to thank Team Real Kitchen for coming on this morning and presenting. You guys did a fantastic job. And to all our presenters, you guys are so wonderful. I think that it's good for an organization to see such talent and youth, doing so well, taking a chance, taking some risks, getting out there and just getting at it. So thank you to all. And I will say this, I truly appreciate the fact that I would say, I call you children, politely, are better than us at technology. And it's great to see you guys being so functional and just making this happen. So great job to all. Thank you so much. Alrighty, to the viewership this morning, mark your calendars. Our next meeting will be Wednesday, March 3rd, 9 to 10 as always. The location is Zoom. And then lastly, as a reminder, if you are on the 1 Million Cups Norman organizing community, stay on the call. As always, until next time, thank you all very much.
Hi, everyone.